Hello everyone, it's Becca from Becca Books and Bujo. It is time for another Read It or Not challenge. Can't believe it is the fourth time we are doing this challenge, but I'm very, very excited. I had a very strict set TBR for April, but I'm looking forward to some spontaneity. I would really love maybe a mystery or thriller or a romance, so that would be blue for the mystery thriller and pink for the romance. But who knows? It'll probably give me nonfiction, as it always has. Last month I had the stipulation that I needed to pick dark green for middle grade, and I would love to maybe avoid those this time around just because I only picked those last month, but we shall see. The odds will be in the draw. I am going to pick something completely random. And by the way, if you don't know what this challenge is, I pick a book out of here. It's yellow. I pick a book out of this jar that has my entire physical TBR written down on every slip of paper, and whatever I pick out, I must read or unhaul. Okay, let's check out what this yellow paper is. What is this? Evensong by Gail Godwin? No clue. Let's get it. So the contemporaries are right here. This is Evensong. USA Today is blurbed on the front, and it says, rich, satisfying, luscious, Evensong reawakened in these weary eyeballs the joy of reading. It's that old-fashioned concept, a good read. None of these things actually say a synopsis of the book. It just says, a deeply considered, even dignified novel. One stays engaged with the story for sheer narrative hook. As with storylines from Dickens, you simply want to find out who does what to whom. The final beauty of Evensong is its ability to address God, to address the mystery of faith by comprehending, then embracing this premise of uncertainty itself. Okay, so it looks like it's a Christian fiction, which I guess makes sense because my dad gave this one to me. But I still have no clue. I'm going to hope that there is an audiobook of this because it would just help me get through it faster, as we all know audiobooks do. But yeah, we will check in once I'm a little ways into Evensong. Here's the deal, folks. I am only like 25 pages in to this book, but I'm enjoying it and I want to keep going. However, there is no audiobook and it's taking me forever to read it physically. It'll take me all week, which is normally how long I slot for these Read It or Not challenges. So, because I don't want to just be reading one book for this vlog, I am going to draw another piece of paper, and I'm going to draw a piece of paper until I get an audiobook or a book that I can find on audio in some location. So, I do want to keep reading Evensong. I am enjoying it, oddly enough. For some reason I thought I wasn't going to like it, but I'm enjoying the writing and the story is intriguing me. It is about a woman who is a pastor, and we are kind of getting her background as to how she became a pastor. Her dad is a pastor, which I can relate with because my dad is a pastor. I also feel like I'm relating with her because so many people have told me, like, hey, Becca, you would be a great pastor. You should go to seminary. You would do great at this. And I've resisted that my entire life. There were some points in my life where I was like, yep, I'm going to seminary. And then it was like, heck no, I'm not going to seminary. So it's interesting to see her discernment process and how she eventually decided to go to seminary. I don't think that's in the cards for me, but I'm still enjoying reading her story. So let's get this out and see if we can get an audiobook out of the deal. This paper. I'm going with this paper. Oh, I've got 3 papers. I'm choosing the blue out of those 3 papers because I said earlier that I wanted a mystery or a thriller. Of course, I can't get anything to focus. This is Murder in the South of France by Suzanne Kiernan Lewis. This is a book I have on my Kindle. But let's see if I can find it on audio anywhere. No luck on Libby. I think I found it. Okay, I found an audiobook version on Everand. I do want to just double check though that this is the first in the series. I know it's the Maggie Newberry series, I think. So let's just make sure. Because if it's not, then I don't really want to read it. Oh, perfect. It's the first one. Okay, so I will be reading Murder in the South of France by Susan. Oh, I have the author type. I have the author's name wrong. It's not Suzanne, it's Susan. So, Murder in the South of France by Susan Kiernan Lewis. That will be my audiobook, and I will continue to read Evensong physically. I'll check in once I've made some progress in either of these books. Long story short, I'm going to DNF this. Let's see. I feel like I could enjoy this book if I gave it a little bit more time, but I'm 50 pages in and just not enjoying myself. And I really want to read for enjoyment. I feel like this story could have some meaningful bits, especially for me, but I just don't want to read it. And I feel like that is a valid enough reason to DNF it. I think I felt obligated to take this book from my parents. They moved semi-recently from a 4-bedroom house to a 1-bedroom condo and got rid of a bunch of books. And because I love books, I was like, yeah, give them to me, give them to me. But I should have maybe been more selective in the books I chose. This, it has no synopsis, so there was no way I had any idea what it was about, just off of the recommendation from my dad, most likely. Unfortunately, it's just not something I want to read. So I'm going to DNF this. I did think about drawing another piece of paper for a different book, but I decided I'm just going to focus myself 100% on Murder in the South of France. So I didn't get a chance to start that book on audio or in ebook format, so I think I might do an immersive experience and do both so that I can try to read it as quickly as possible. My kids are being goofy, but we're home alone today, just me and them, and they're going to be making noise. But I do have an update. I got 33% of the way through this book, and I have a couple of concerns. The first thing is the audiobook that I have is completely, you want to sit by me? Is completely different than the ebook. So I was trying to follow along. Hi. With the ebook while I was listening, and there had been a new version published. I don't know when the first version was published. I don't know when the second version was published, but I was very confused. Uh-oh. It's basically the same story, but, I mean, obviously following the same thing, but just highly edited, changed. Things are in a little bit different order, but I was confused by that. So then I was like, okay, I'm not going to try to read it physically because I can read faster audibly. And then I just didn't really care about the story. We're following Maggie, who is in France identifying her sister. Her sister has died, and she needs to identify the body. She identifies the body positively. It is her sister. She goes back home with her sister's daughter. That's a microphone.
What's that?
Yeah, it's a microphone.
What's that?
A microphone.
What's that?
Say microphone. Good job.
Microphone.
Don't touch.
Is that a microphone?
It's a microphone. She had to steal her sister's child because she was in a bad situation with the child's father. So that part was goofy. Then we get back to the US and she gets a phone call from her sister, who she just identified as dead, asking for money. And then she goes back to France to find her sister, and then her sister dies again. I didn't care. I mean, it felt like just a bunch of...
I didn't care.
You didn't care either? No, we didn't care. Mabel and I didn't care. It was going to be us trying to figure out which criminal in the story... Ooh, what's that? Killed her sister. The other thing was she had this weird one-night stand with the man who maybe killed her sister, and a lot of the story was her just pining over this man, this French man, who wasn't calling her, which I didn't like that part of the story either. So we are going to DNF Murder in the South of France, which means I also get to get rid of Murder in Aix. Aix-en-Provence is the city in France, but I'm going to get rid of both those books on my Kindle. But that means we get to pick another book. I was hoping my gremlins would help me. Found the jar. We're going to pick something new and hope. All right. Sorry about that. The camera got knocked over. We are going to have the children pick one piece of paper each. Pick one, May. Which one? Purple? Oopsie. Mabel picked this purple one. And Theo picked that red one. All right. Let's see. Red is nonfiction and purple is fantasy or sci-fi. So are you opening it? Open it a little higher so they can see. You want me to open it? What does it say? The Late Homecomers by Cal Yang. And Mabel, what was yours? Oh, Mabel, you have to pick again. Because this one says The Two Towers by J.R.R. Tolkien, and I'm not going to read that series because I did not like The Hobbit. I think I read that in the 3rd episode of this series, maybe? Or the 2nd. Okay, can you pick a different one? I know you might say, well, Becca, that means you need to choose The Late Homecomer, but I don't want to read that. All right, Mabel, pick a different one. Okay. What color are you going to pick? Yellow?
No.
No, not that one? Which one? Sorry, you can't see this. Oh, another red one? Great. What is it?
Open it.
Yeah, you open it. I guess I'll be choosing between 2 reds. What does it say?
Open it.
Open it all the way. She's being a stubborn 2-year-old and not letting me see it. There you go. What does it say? Let me see, Mabel. I can't see it. Okay, this is Broken Horses. Is it gonna focus? Sorry for my weird claw hand. Broken Horses by Brandi Carlile. That's a new one. Out of these 2, I want to read Broken Horses. So let's get that. Okay, nonfiction is up here. Ones I haven't read are on this side. Where is Broken Horses? Am I blind? Here it is. I was looking for a white cover for some reason because it does have a white cover, but a blue spine. There it is. All right, here it is. Broken Horses is Brandi Carlile's memoir. Glennon Doyle has blurbed it. It says, one of the great memoirs of our time. I'm not a Brandi Carlile listener, so I don't know if I'll enjoy this, but I am going to look for the audiobook of this. Someone, I believe on the channel, told me about the audiobook, so that's what we're going for. So, I am here with a good update for once. I feel like this vlog has just been full of duds, but I'm 75 pages into this. I sat and read this. 75 pages straight, and I am enjoying it so much. I know I would enjoy it more if I had the audiobook, because I imagine that she plays some of the music that she's talking about. So, Brandi Carlile, we are getting her history all the way since she was 4, I think is when it starts. She's diagnosed with meningitis, and basically in every chapter she's talking about something that she's overcoming, but how music has helped her through that circumstance, through that process. And it's usually one song that helps her, whether it's the poetry or the way that the music wells up in her. It's just really awesome. And so at the end of every chapter, she shares the lyrics of the song. So here is Philadelphia by Neil Young, which I think is one that she sang maybe. But then it also has pictures that she shares with us. And this chapter was all about her horse that she was able to have, her first broken horse. Title drop there. Anyway, so I'm really enjoying it. It's easy to read. Even though I don't know much about Brandi Carlile and her music, I am enjoying her story. She had a rough upbringing. Well, not necessarily rough. She had a really loving family. Her dad was an alcoholic for a time. They were just poor. They lived in a single wide trailer home and moved around a bunch because of their circumstances, and so she was in a bunch of different schools. She didn't do well in school. The one thing that steadied her throughout all of this turmoil in her childhood is music. So I'm enjoying that because I'm a music lover. So I'm excited to keep going with this one. Great news, I got the audiobook for Broken Horses, and so I actually went back and started listening from the beginning. I skipped all of the text parts, but I did get to listen to the songs. I knew that she would have recorded songs of some sort, and some of them aren't in there. Like some of the ones that are by other people, she probably didn't get the rights to sing those, but a lot of them are in there, and I'm learning to love her voice and her style, and I think that adds so much. But then I realized I started listening too far and I missed out on the pictures in the physical book. So I had to go back and look at the pictures again. So yeah, now I'm about 2/3 of the way, like maybe even more. I'll probably finish this tonight. I'm on sprints with Krista. Happy BookTube birthday, Krista. And I'll probably finish this one tonight, and that might be the end of my Read It or Not challenge this time around, but we'll see. I don't think I could get another one in. Anyway, still really enjoying it. She just has so much to say about music and how it has impacted her life, but then also how she has made music impact others' lives too. She re-released her The Story album, like a 10-year anniversary edition with a bunch of other artists, and gave all of the profits or the proceeds to, no, I can't think of the name, War Child and War Child UK, who were helping children in countries of crisis. So that was really cool, and she was able to talk with Barack Obama about it, and Adele, and all sorts of people. So that was cool. And then she also talks about her relationship and how she was seen as the father to her child. It even shows her daughter's birth certificate and lists her as the father. And she was upset by that and disappointed in her country that she and her wife couldn't get married right away. So yeah, a lot of cool topics that she covers, and I mean, this was her life, obviously, so it's real to her, but it's good to get to know her in this way. Anyway, I am gonna get back to listening and cooking my kids dinner. I have completed Broken Horses, and I absolutely loved it. What a huge shock. My daughter pulled this one out of the jar for me, and my son drew another memoir, I believe, and I just thought I chose the lesser of two evils. but I didn't realize that this was going to be so wonderful. This book, I realized, was gifted to me by my husband. He had gone to Tennessee last summer, and he always likes to pick up a book for me wherever he goes. He found this and thought it would be up my alley, but I don't know Brandi Carlile. I didn't listen to her music before reading this, and so I thought it was a shot in the dark. But I loved it. The way that she talks about music and the lyrics that go into songwriting just really resonated with me. Music is so intrinsically a part of her life, and I feel like music has been a part of my life in a similar way, maybe not to the degree of Brandi Carlile, but I feel like songs can get you through some hard times, music can, singing can, and I just loved what she had to say about how music got her through her life. She told her story in a beautiful way, but included music throughout the whole thing. So I really loved it. It was fun to see her start her family. It was fun to see how all of these idols that she had growing up came into her life. Like, she's best friends with Elton John and Joni Mitchell, and like hangs out with Barack Obama every once in a while. Like, there's a picture of her wife just like shooting the breeze with Barack Obama in here. It's wonderful. I also think that the audiobook slash album, it felt like I was listening to a CD because she includes such great music, the music that helped her form who she is as a person. And I really loved the whole experience of this book. So I ended up giving it 5 stars, which, like, whoa, out of left field. I did not think that that would happen. And because this is such a high note, I'm going to end this video on this high note of a 5-star. We had some big duds with Evensong and the Murder in the South of France series, Maggie Newberry, whatever they're called. And I'm just glad that I was able to find such a win with a book that I would not have picked up on my own. That's what this series is all about. So thank you so much for watching. Like this video on your way out. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new here and would like to see more bookish and bullet journaling content from me. Let me know in the comments if you have read any of these books that I talked about in this vlog, and if you agreed with me, or if you didn't, if you think I'm missing out on those first 2 books that I DNF'd, let me know. We can have some conversation down below in the comments. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.